What is going on with Jackal as far as a rework? Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
And then, we'll take it from there.
So most of the problems have already been outlined by different people, but this is just clearly showing you what the rework is.
Okay.
So right now, what will happen when you look at a footprint, you will select a specific footprint that you want to scan. This is because now the color and the age of the footprint has a significant impact on the gameplay result. So each different footprint will have a different number of pings you get for it. So that means that as Jackal, I have a choice about whether I actually use my scan or not. So you turn your Inox on, you look at it, you see it's blue, and you think, okay, well, I'm only going to get 2 pings, one on the initial and then one extra. Is that information valuable for my whole team, or should I follow? Should I be a tracker? Should I continue chasing down this defender? And as you can see here, we're starting to scan, and now as a blue footprint, so you have 2 scans, one there and the next one. And as you saw, all the footprints disappeared from that scan, so they start again at the first scan. So as Jackal, if you decide to use that resource of the footprints, you've used it up. It no longer exists anymore, and it's trying to improve the cost-benefit, the risk-reward balance of Jackal, which is a similar thing we did with Lion. We tried to pull the reward into line with the risk, and so hoping that this will improve the experience for all sides.
One of the things I heard you guys mention as we were talking about this rework throughout the week that really stuck with me was you felt like Jackal doesn't counter a player or an operator, he counters a play style.
Exactly. That was one of the things that Laney came with from the frustration survey. We had our own internal visions of what the problem was with Jackal, and that happens all the time. We play ranked a lot, we're engaged in the game, so we come with our own opinions, and that can be problematic sometimes because opinions aren't perfect. So we come with our opinions, and then Laney puts them into perspective with the frustration survey, and she actually came back and said that most people feel that it counters roaming, full stop. And that was something that we kind of understood, but that's the role of Jackal. But actually it was a frustration that he countered roaming because it was a hard counter. And so with this, we're aiming to give the roamers an ability to better roam and feel more comfortable, but also we're giving the anchors the ability to go and get hatches. We're giving the anchors the chance to go and get a hatch, go back down onto site, and if Jackal decides to look at a hatch, he can think, oh, maybe this is a roamer, and actually this is going to be useful, and I can go and get them. Or it's blue, so I'm only going to get 2. So maybe if I use one of my 3 charges, actually it's an anchor, and I'm not going to get much intel. And so there's this better reward, and that came from a combination of like our personal opinions, but actually very backed up by the data that we got from the Montreal.
And that adds risk as well, right?
Exactly.
Because that person is going to know roughly where you are because of the change in time.
Exactly. That's a really important part of why a roamer has more levers to play around this, because if as a roamer you get marked by Jackal and you get these 5 ticks, well, Jackal is very, very, very close. We had no information on that before, and now you have this fairly clear information. You can still get killed, there can still be 3 attackers closing in on you for sure, but it's harder for attackers to get the same results.
This was one of the big things as well when we started working on it was, as a defender, you have no intel about Jackal. Jackal could be 1 meter away from you, or he could be 30 meters away from you. You don't really know. And now with this, we're going to give the defenders that intel. You're gonna know that he's got 5 pings on you, and that's going to improve things. So you have a better way to respond in some ways.
5 pings means you can probably smell him. He's close.
5 pings means maybe you turn around and shoot pre-fire angles, these kind of things. So.
It puts more risk on the Jackal, because if I think about how I used to play Jackal in the past, if I see red footprints, I'm on high alert, because I'm thinking like if I now bend down and start scanning this, I'm putting myself more at risk than if it's just, they're just green, they're just blue, it's fine, and I can just scan them over and over again. So now if you want to get the most out of the gadget, you have to take that risk.
And I think reiterating on that point, the fact that the footprints disappear when you scan is a big deal, is a big change to Jackal. You can't just scan a blue footprint and then follow the footprints and scan it